Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Everton Daily Live. It is Thursday, the 27th of June. And Everton have had a bid from Lyon, 12.7 million for defender Ben Godfrey, who's got just over, like literally just over a year left on his Everton contract. He's told Everton he doesn't want to sign a new deal, apparently. Therefore, do we accept this bid?
Yes,
Ted?
yes. Sell him right now.
Okay.
Just sell him.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Just
you're not even having to think about it.
Just ship him. Just put him in a box and UPS him.
That's the quickest way.
Well, you know, that's Tom Hanks.
You got to think about his medical. You know, if he's cramped up in that box,
He'll be fine.
I don't know.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Okay. So you've got obviously no reservations whatsoever.
Not whatsoever.
Sell him.
Get it done.
Godfrey.
Get it done before Monday.
Sunday.
Get it done and dusted.
He was 26 in January. He moved here obviously 4 years ago in September. And when he first come, I think we were all very pleased with him. Thought he was going to develop. But he's been a victim, hasn't he, of playing in different positions, and therefore he's never really nailed a position.
Yeah, he's also been a victim of not being good enough. No, I mean, that's just facts, isn't it? You don't need to beat round the bush.
He was good near the end of the season.
He hasn't been good enough. He's not good enough in one position. He's not a good enough centre-back. He's not got what it takes to be a full-back at full time. He's just a really decent utility player. So you know, whether if he goes to Italy, goes to France, that might change. Might be able to stick down a position with his physicality and his pace. I'm sure they'll work massively in Italy. But no, get the money, get PSR sorted. Start again.
And this would, of course, sort Everton's PSR
certainly would
for the year, which means that it strengthens everything else, doesn't it? The other one will be obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but that's more of a contract thing rather than being forced to sell. He's played 82 times in the Premier League for Everton, overall for Everton. He's played 93 games, scored no goals. He's had his injuries. You know, started off his first season with us 36 games overall. Second season, 27 games overall. Third season, 14 games overall. Obviously, that included the broken leg. So, but last season, 16 games, and most of them come in the back end of the season at right back, didn't he? When we needed, he just come and he got forced his way into the side, and actually did a really good job. So much so we were maybe wondering if he would sign a new deal. He could, you know, then potentially play right back or whatever. But he said that he doesn't want to sign a new deal, and therefore when he's made the mind up, you do want to sell, don't you? So I think this probably looks like a decent deal for Everton. Do you think this is about right the fee, or do you think Everton could get more than that? He has only got a year left.
I think it's right. For what we paid for him, I think that's a good fee.
20 million, wasn't it?
And again, I'm sure with the amortisation and all that, that's actually probably over the amortisation, I'd imagine. So, no, listen, I like Ben Godfrey. I think he's a good squad player. Yeah, don't forget, he never really kicked the ball this season till Burnley, December. Yeah. So
just got bits.
I like him, but what a big opportunity for him more than anything. I think Atalanta would be brilliant for him. That's his preferred choice.
Yeah, that's where that.
You know, you already got someone English there, and Amadou Lachlan. English by birth. Before anyone says anything, you know, to help him bed into that situation. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for him, and it helps our PSR out. And yes, it would mean we'd be looking for another player, but if this one is a very much one where I think we've known for some time that he wasn't willing to sign a new contract, and you can understand why. He's a big part player. He's coming into that last part of his career. There are opportunities out there. Everton isn't the be all and end all for these players, certainly if you're not playing. So go and try something different. Go and see, you know, a different part of Europe. You know, while your family are young and stuff like that. So yeah, I think if we can get it done before Sunday, then that would be huge. And I'd be honest, I'd be willing to accept a lower bid if it was for Sunday, if it did sort PSR out. I think if you're going to lose a player, I wouldn't. I know Everton want to be looking like they're being fair money, but if it means a couple of £1 million and it gets the deal done before Sunday, and everyone's happy in their own way. I know Everton have got to keep they have got to have a negotiating line, and that's fine, no problem at all. But if it comes to, if Lyon are offering more by a couple of million and he wants to go to Atalanta, then I'd take what Atalanta. But if it's going to sort PSR out and give us no headaches this season, no looking over our shoulder and all that kind of thing, and we know that stress that can be caused just simply by that, then I think that's a no-brainer personally.
And you're doing right by the lad then, aren't you?
Yeah.
If he prefers a different one. Everton will obviously try and get as much as they can, because they should, but you just have to wait and see. He went to his high school was Archbishop Holgate. That's where he attended school. What a name. You know,
sounds about right.
Player who we should be looking to.
Well, actually, we'll knock $1 million off if you take Holgate with you.
I mean, let's if he goes, and I think he will, to be honest, I think this was sensible by Everton to just let him go. He's told us he doesn't want to stay. Therefore, off he goes. You're losing cover in a couple of positions because of it. Ideally, Everton want to offload Michael Keane and Mason Holgate, as well as Ben Godfrey. But is that too much of a risk for three of them to go? Do you think that'll be too much to see the three of them go? I think Mason Holgate will go, because I think Everton will take another loan or whatever, just for them to go and play and not be around, sort of thing. We know Michael Keane is a bit frustrated, and if Jarrod Branthwaite's going to stay, which it looks like he will, then Keane ain't getting in unless...
No, Keane's not. Keane shouldn't be... Sell Keane so there's not even a temptation to play him.
So therefore, Everton should really then be looking for two centre-backs this summer. Jacob Greaves is one who's been mentioned, and he would then come in left-footed. He'd have a year to bed in. Then what you do with in the other position?
Buy a right-footed centre-back.
Get another one.
Well, this is what they would have been looking, wouldn't they? This is not going to be any surprise to them.
No.
Mason Holgate's effective. Mason Holgate was told last summer, you are no longer part of the plans. Find yourself a club.
Yeah.
Is Mason Holgate, right, hear me out, is Mason Holgate technically the first player to be relegated from the Premier League and promoted to the Premier League in the same year? Quiz question, that.
Technically. Don't know, because he was in the first part of the year when he were Southampton, but they did get promoted. Part of two squads that achieve those things. So, if what you say,
I believe he is.
I don't know. Maybe.
I believe he is.
Who knows?
I believe he is. Well, you think about it like this: if he'd played for the team that won the league, and he'd played 8 times, and then was sold to a team who relegated, he would win the league because he would have got a medal. So technically, it's the same thing.
Okay.
So I'm putting that down as a yes, and I think that's a quiz question.
Okay. I wonder if that can go on his value then.
No.
He was part of a promotion, a promoted side. When he played, he didn't do great, but he was part of it.
I think that's factually correct.
I mean, he's another one, isn't he? He's in a real awkward spot because the age of him. He could have been. I still think he could have been a really good defender, but he's lost his way, and now you look at him and just go.
He chose not to be.
See, again, it was,
he chose not to be a good defender.
I don't know whether he chose it.
No, he did choose it. He chose not to be a good defender.
Okay.
He could have been anything he wanted, and he chose not to be.
Oh.
It's on the player. It's on the player. I don't know why we sugarcoat these things. The player had the potential to be anything he wanted, and he decided not to be that through his own actions. So that's as simple.
Rio Ferdinand.
That's as simple as that.
It's funny, isn't it? Both of them with Rio Ferdinand and the parent dropped off.
And listen, again, if he wants to go and play first team football, he can do that. He just can't have the wages he's on now. And that, again, that's a choice. That's a choice, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely. Steve and Frankie, don't know whether it's two people or whatever, but he's just said, has anyone checked with Jim Ratcliffe to see if he approves of the Godfrey sale before we proceed?
Yeah. Well, it's
Give him a bell. Bell that Jim fella. A lot of people, Phil, saying get him gone. The Blues every day of the week and twice on a Sunday accept that bid. Accepting a heartbeat, says SR. Robbo says, afternoon lads, sell. Good money, and he did this bit for us at the end of the season with some superb last gas tackles. Yeah. Phil Johnson said he hasn't been the same since his injury.
He hasn't been the same since he got COVID.
And we ship Michael Keane. He did lose, yeah. Nathan says, does it get our PSR sorted? I thought he's going to kick on. Sadly, he couldn't nail down the spot. Harrison said he's one of the worst centre-halves in the air.
He isn't good in the air. He never was. He never kicked on. He never kicked on.
Toffee says Godfrey leaving is right, in my opinion. Baz is right. When he first came in, he did look to have the potential, but he isn't good enough for a Premier League side who wants to be better than the bottom half.
Yeah.
Bob the Blue says problem is he's not consistent. Okay, I mean lots of people are saying, you know, yeah, let's sell him. Tommy Cool Duck says, I love the show, but when you first started, did you believe you'd become finance experts when we started this?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Never. I'm still not a finance expert.
I had a background in chartered accountancy, so
you couldn't even say it. So
it was carted back then. Though. Since then, I've added a H because that's part of the degree
part of your
moving
learning.
Forward.
Education, always learning,
of course.
No, I think it's fair to say we've had to speak a lot more about finance than we ever thought we would.
Oh, it is ridiculous,
wouldn't we? So if he goes, and like we said, well, first of all, before I proceed, Tommy K has said, Dad, camera on. When the viewers are having to tell you to put your camera on, demanding it.
They can.
No one can really see that. No one can really see it.
I don't care.
No one can really see it.
I don't care. People want to see you. Okay. People just want to be voyeurs. They laugh at you anyway. Well, you know, I can just go over there and put it on. You know that, don't you? Well, you will.
I will.
No, you will be.
No, I will.
Once again, I feel like you don't understand that you are an employee and we are your employers.
I would rather retire right now.
Retire? You'd rather retire?
Yeah, forever.
Your dad is trying to force you out your house and you're talking about retirement.
Look at my nose.
No one will.
What's wrong with his nose?
Gonna pick that up.
What's wrong with
you? Burnt your nose the other day. It's peeling. Lots of people who are watching have probably had that in their life at some stage.
Don't look like a lizard. You are a lizard.
Well, that's why I'm not putting my camera on.
There you go. Bob the Blue says, just own it, Ned. That's it. Layla Nash says, on my bird's iPad has melted my phone in Cyprus. Glad on you boys keep me up to date on all of things.
Your phone is melted. Fair play.
Dave's there. No, his iPad's melted.
His phone's melted because he's on his iPad.
His girlfriend, Mrs. Partner, whatever, because of that, yeah. PL and 281 says, Ned, you're part of the show. Yeah. Comic relief and all, get it on. So that's Godfrey looking as though he's potentially out the door. Yeah. Everton's move for Illiman and Dye looks, it's edging closer, but I have been informed the deal is not done. So that spoke to someone at 10-1. The deal is not done, but it is edging closer. But until the two clubs agree all the terms, then he's still a Marseille player. But if Everton could get that sorted before Sunday as well, before pre-season training, really, that's what I'm looking at. That'd be good again to keep the players coming in, wouldn't it? And building it that way. What's your gut feeling on Michael Keane? Do you think he'll still be here, or do you think for him,
who wants him?
No, but he could still do a job for the Premier League side. Of course, he could.
You said that with a straight face,
mate. He could, right? I think he's done it yet because I think we've seen too many times when he's dipped and how his confidence has gone a bit. But I still think he could go and play for someone in the Premier League and just do a decent job. You know, Leicester wanted him a couple of years ago. Things like that. But for him, at his age, he needs to be playing football, surely. Sitting on Everton's bench.
Yeah.
Can't be good, can it?
High-end championship?
Maybe, but just playing games of football. Because if I was 31, I know he should be on a good deal, but he's been on a good deal most of the time he's been there.
Yeah.
And he's been here for 7 years. You know, and I think for him, because I'm just looking at the bits in the squad now, and you go, well, Holgate and Keane, they're not really going to be considered by the man. Well, Michael Keane will be a backup in Sean Dyche's eyes, of course he will. Like you said before, Mason Holgate was told 12 months ago to get another club. So really his Everton career's over.
Yeah.
I think Neil Maupay's Everton career's over. That's another player who Everton will be looking to ship out as well. So we'll just see what happens with that. But
you just need buyers, don't you? I don't think they've got a future at Everton.
Yeah.
I don't think the three of them have got a future at Everton. And we need to move them on as quickly as possible. I think we do need to move them on as well. That's key. Like, don't let them be hanging around at the club. You know, I think moving them on and being straight with them is important. And, I mean, listen, the manager might just think Keane is fine for another year, but is Keane fine for another year? Does he really want to be here?
That's what I mean. Football? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even looking at Michael Keane and going, you know, from an Everton perspective. Of course I am, but you know what I mean. I'm looking at it and thinking for him as well. Does he really be, you know, want to be sitting around? Sophie, that doesn't really matter. Players have been in. You should know this from Arnaud Danjuma. There's been many players who have been in the building and haven't signed. Olivier Giroud, Robbie Keane on 3 different occasions. I'm only talking about Everton. Nabil Fekir for Liverpool had the kit, the pictures taken, everything. The deal didn't go through. There's lots of clubs, you know, I've seen Dan James. Yeah. Had all pictures done. Was it Leeds, wasn't it? Leeds, wasn't it? When he had all the photos done.
Only first time,
First time. Went to Leeds and had all the pictures done, and then it didn't happen. So until it's done, it's done. Yerry Minatou says, when are we announcing El Ghazi on loaning?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. There isn't any news about Ravanelli yet. There isn't any news about Wilfred and Didi. There's been stories that Everton have offered him a contract, because he's had a contract. I personally would like him. I think he'd be good for Everton on a free. I know that would bump his wages up. But we saw with Tarkowski, no fee, but a higher wage. And yet, Tarky, for me anyway, I know other people are like, I think some people are a little bit like that. I think Tarkowski's been a tremendous signing for Everton on a free transfer. I really do. And he's been brilliant for us. Personally, I love him. I think at times there's been the odd game and he's been below it, but in general, I think his level's been really good. And I think he's like an old-fashioned Everton centre-back, I think, Tarkowski.
We're not. Why were we talking about Tarkowski for?
Because he was a free transfer with a higher wage.
Okay, sorry.
And that is what's been reported with Ndidi.
Yeah.
It's a free transfer, but like 85 grand a week or something.
Yeah.
And people might be
Well,
like,
he's a free transfer.
So that's unshame. So there can be value in that.
Yeah, of course there is. That's why you get the wage, because you don't get the fee. And
would you be happy with Wilfred Ndidi?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got good Premier League experience. Played 32 times last year for Leicester in the Championship. 4 goals, 5 assists.
He is generally like a number 6 though, really.
No, I know.
I'm saying, and that therefore frees up. Like, if you're thinking of him in Everton's midfield, if Amadou's gone, and Amadou was brilliant last night for Belgium, by the way. Anyone who watched it, he was tremendous for Belgium. But if Amadou's go, and it looks like he probably will, then indeed he would be a genuine number 6 for Everton, which would free up Adrissa to go doing the hunting that he does. And obviously you'd have James Garner in there, Tim Irabuna.
Well, you've got options, haven't you? You've got options.
His own pace then, couldn't he?
Got options, that's the most important thing.
But we'll see.
His last year in the Premier League, well, the season before last, he played 27 times. Season before that, he played. Where are you? Only played 19 times that year. But so, yeah, I mean, maybe he'd want slightly higher numbers, but just for that level of consistency, that maybe when we brought Tarkowski in, that was his numbers were ridiculously high, weren't they? So yeah, I mean, listen, that would be the going rate for a player who's on a free transfer. That's what you're giving up, aren't you? That's why he's got options to go places, because he's a free transfer.
Well, there is reports today that he's about to sign a new deal with Leicester.
Yeah, so and he might use the Everton interest to sign a deal at Leicester.
Himself a better deal.
So,
we will see. Emma says, any plans to interview the Roma press? Their podcast is quite entertaining. We have got some things in the background going on. We're trying to just tie down a couple of people, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Roman Dixon's just signed a new 3-year deal.
Good.
Which is good.
Everton do highly rate him very highly. That's the right back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Gavin Johnson says Calvin Phillips low. Well, that's another one, isn't it? That hasn't gone anywhere, has it? Calvin Phillips, as in
it literally hasn't.
No, but what I mean, it hasn't gone off the table either. I think. I think Kevin Thelwell likes him. I think if you got him to what he was like at Leeds. Thanks, mate. I think if you got him,
Ned,
to what he was like at Leeds, then he'd be sound. He hasn't really done it at City, of course, and he wasn't very good at West Ham, and there'll be people saying no. But
yeah.
Steve P says the weird thing is a lot of our fans who watched the game last night will still be saying Onana didn't do anything.
It's what, again, we've said this loads of times. It's what you think Onana should be doing is the biggest problem. Lots of people think he's a box-to-box midfielder, and we're just not used to having a centre midfielder who plays number 6, whose job it is just to control the possession of the ball. And yeah, people are old-fashioned and they want midfielders to do everything. He simply doesn't. He does his job. His job is to tie the team together and allow other players to do the attacking parts. That's his role, and he does it really, really well, and he did it really well for Everton. Yeah,
definitely. Curtis says, is there any chance the takeover's completed before the season? So I think there's every chance. Well, hang on, for the season. I was reading that for the transfer window ended then, sorry. So the season's mid-August, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. One of the things was 6 weeks, which will put us into that sort of the week of the season starting. So, yeah, I mean, they've had to. We've seen things on Company's House, and we've seen things like that, and so We've seen those things they've been able to do, and they've basically paid MSP off, but took the
loan,
kind of swapped, haven't they?
Yeah.
So the loan is sort of, MSP have got the money clearly, but now what they're doing is they took a bit of security until this process is done, because obviously we saw 777 didn't have any security really until 2026, did they, with their payments. So they mightn't even be around in 2026, and that's a different thing. But so already that we've come to the end of the first week of due diligence, we know that the Freakin group people are on Merseyside. It's progression. Dan Freakin hasn't been here apparently, but lawyers and all the other people who go through the stuff are here, and that's progressing nicely. They've presented evidence of all the money, it's all there and everything else, which is why they're already 3 steps ahead of where 777 were, and certainly they're starting from a place where they've ticked a load of boxes first to get to that what you would call start. So I think there's every chance that it could be completed before the season starts.
Just gotta hope, haven't we?
Yeah,
just gotta hope that it's all done. I think just right now the club is just in a lot safer position ultimately. And as you mentioned there, they've taken over that loan, so, and that will be converted into equity if a deal is done. So
just sensible by them, getting a bit of security, isn't it? EFC _2021. El Bobble said, and Dyer's had the medical. How can it not be done? Because the 2 teams haven't agreed. That's how a deal can be. You can go and have a medical. Sometimes clubs give players permission. There's been a few over the years that have had medicals.
Yeah.
I can take you back. Sean Davis and Mikel Forsell. You know, I was literally seeing both of those players. Seen Sean Davis at Goodison, he'd already had his medical when he was at Fulham. He was on the pitch striking imaginary balls at the Gladys Street. I should have known then he wasn't going to sign, because that was a little bit weird. There was no ball there. And he had a terrible striped shirt.
Was it like Mike
jeans.
Bassett?
He honestly
forgot the ball.
Honestly, right, I went out.
3 cheers for Ramirez.
Out into the family enclosure. So when I was taking something down to the dressing room area, and as I come along to go down, he was on the edge of the D at the Gladys Street, hitting like as if he was kicking a ball. He'd done it about 3 times, and I was looking, thinking, what? And he come back, and the fellas who were with him and all that were like, yeah, he's signed. I was made up because I wanted him, because he looked like he was, when he was coming through, he looked like he was going to be top. A bit of an injury, and that fell through. Mikel Forsell saw at Belfield, and he was in. He'd had his medical.
His knee fell
But
off.
obviously there was a concern over his knee. Everton refused to pay an extra bit on top of what they wanted. I think he went off to Birmingham, was it?
Yeah.
Whatever, and he scored 20 odd goals next season, and he played for another 2, and then I think he started picking up injuries, but the couple of years he did it. So that's why. So the reason why I'm saying the deal isn't done, because it isn't done. Melly, that doesn't favour us though. That is not what Everton aren't being clever and going, we'll announce it on July the 1st, but it's all done. It isn't. But we'd be better off having it in this year, because our first down payments on them would be minimal. Like, absolutely, only, what is there, 3 days left of this reporting year. Therefore, you're talking a couple of 100,000 that would go in our books, as opposed to if next year his first chunk could be in. But it'll be done. Not be done. What I mean is, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was it'll be done when it's done, won't it? If the 2 clubs agree, then great. But right now the 2 clubs haven't agreed, so it isn't done as yet. But hopefully, because it'd be positive if Everton can get him in the door before pre-season. Absolutely. Michael says, if we sell Dom, got to at least test the water for a Richarlison loan with an obligation to buy. I think he'd come back in a heartbeat. Yeah, he would. They want him gone, don't they? And Spurs would absolutely sell him if they got a bid for him. Would they loan him back with an obligation? I'm not convinced. And would Everton, even though I think he'd be perfect for the Sean Dyche team, would Everton buy him as it, because he's a wide forward, really, isn't he, rather than the number 9. I mean, I'd have him, don't get me wrong. I love him.
Yeah.
But would you buy him as a 9? Would you want him to play where he was better, which was off the left? Or would you put him off the right?
I think he can play in all 3 of those positions. That's the beauty of him, isn't he? I don't know really. It's a difficult one because he showed some instances at Spurs that he can play in that in the number 9 position, but it hasn't worked. So Spurs are looking to get rid of him. We always seem to look in the direction of past players because it's what we always do, especially when players are sort of taken away from us in a cruel manner, I suppose.
But I think he's slightly different, and I know you love him anyway.
It doesn't bother me.
What I mean is he's slightly different in the fact that he's such a workhorse for the team
I think if we could get Richarlison on loan, it'd be a great bit of business.
Yeah,
it'd be a great bit of business.
Yeah. I don't think there's any chance of it, by the way, but
I think we've asked
the question. And
we all like him. He loves us. He loves the whole. He's got. Whether it was to happen or not, I doubt it. But I don't know. Who knows? Things could change dramatically in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. So, yeah. I love him. Love him.
Didn't when he went though, did you?
No, when he went. He got blocked immediately because I didn't want to see none of that Pombo shit with Spurs stuff because he was one I dared to dream with. I said halfway through Lukaku, that was it. He was the final one. Once Ron started spouting his mouth off, he was dead to me.
He's not even in the Brazil squad, is he?
No.
Sad that. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Ross Barkley, I think he's gone.
In the comments?
He's in the comments.
No,
I think he has. He's sort of, I think that might be a July the 1st.
I was going to say.
Because I think that's more or less done. I know just a few people are saying, Ross, would you have him? I'd have had Ross last year. I said it last year. He literally jogged past my house last year in pre-season, running. He didn't jog. He was running at the speed of 1,000 gazelles in the heat and looked like he was just going for a walk. And then he went off to Luton and was brilliant.
I was told there's no way on earth he can ever sign for Everton again.
Really?
And I can't say any more.
No, you don't need to.
I can't say any more on that. But
fair play.
And it's got nothing to do, by the way, with anything that happened in the past.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave that there.
Fair enough, but he had a great season. Good player. Very, very good player. Southern Blue Dino says, Baz, if we couldn't get Ndidi, who'd be your choice to replace Amma if he leaves? It's a tricky one, that, because do we gamble? Do we go and get someone from Europe? And I don't think Everton will. I still want slightly different than Amadou Onana, but I still would go and take Kjaersgaard. I still don't understand how someone hasn't gone and took a chance on him. He's left-footed, 6'3" or 4" midfield player. I think he's really good. Depends if they see Irabunum as a 6, doesn't it? Idrissa can do it, but he likes to go and press. I think he's at his best when he presses, isn't he? So having someone to sit. I always love Fofana and he plays from Monaco, and I think we had the chance to get him at a cheaper price. We had the chance to get Kamara, who ended up at Monaco, at a cheap price. And there's obviously the kid who's now gone to Leipzig or Salzburg. I can't remember his name. Was that Saint Etienne? What's his name? Him. Anyway, it'll come back to me in a sec. But he was one as well. Who we Gorna Duath, who we should have got. He's only but he's only 20. Lucas Gorna Duath. But Monaco are looking at him, and what a surprise. Red Bull Leipzig won him. Plays for Salzburg at the moment. But he was one from a couple of years ago who who Everton could have gone and got. He's a good little player in that midfield. So it depends out. But if you're looking at Sean Dyche, wants someone in there who's 6 foot odd, doesn't he? A powerhouse in that number 6 role. So you're looking for replacements there, but certainly there's no one, I don't think, in the Premier League who I would look at and go, what about him? Can we get him? Don't think so anyway, really. We could go and nick right now. But there are younger talents, and it's whether Everton would go and venture into that. I don't think they would. I think they like the safety net of the Premier League just right now to do it. But they do, don't
seem to like the safety net of the Premier League, don't they?
And hopefully, moving forward, that'll start to change again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. But right now, we'll see.
Absolutely.
Melly says, Camera, yes, he was good. Yeah, he was. Mo Camera was good. But going to Dueth was he is very good, 20. And obviously Leipzig looking at him, very good as well. So players like that, I mean, I'd have to have a proper little... to be honest, I have got a list. It's in me thing. I've got a list of players from each area who I was looking at and doing the thing on. But right now, Everton don't really shop in those markets. I think hopefully as things progress and the financial side looks at it, it looks to improve. And we're seeing it with Roma, aren't we? The Freegan group have gone in out there. Recruitment has changed. Hopefully that'll come to us and we can start looking. Yeah, I don't think he's 6'1". I think he's smaller. It does say James Garner's 6'1", doesn't it?
James Garner's massive.
But he's taller than you. Oh, he's taller than you think, Garner. But I don't think he's. But
most footballers are.
I thought he was like 5'11". It's Mo Camera who's a bit smaller, isn't he? But Camera, yeah, he was good. He was good. Harrison says, if we sell Dom and get Breuer in, I'm finished with Thelwell. I know, but if they've identified them to play a certain way, what they think will work, then you can't question it, can you? You'd have to see. Yeah, I have heard about Garassi going off to Dortmund, €17 million.
Nice.
Just got, what did he get, 20 odd?
Can we have the other kid then?
McCoker?
Fulkrug.
Oh, Fulkrug.
I think he's the perfect Everton centre forward. I really do.
But he's
a little bit old.
He's got no turn of pace whatsoever.
Perfect. That's perfect for us. Perfect for us.
DT says, you think we'll announce a home friendly before the start of the season?
I'd like to think we might have more than 3 friendlies.
Yeah, there is the pre-season programme, but they're obviously playing a game in Ireland, so that'll be 4. They should be playing, really, because no one can call this into question. They should be playing, in my opinion, Roma at home, the last home friendly. Yeah. You'd like to go, Everton go and play, and that could be carnage at Roma v Everton in Rome. But Everton versus Roma on would it be like the 9th of August or the 10th of August? Would it be that when we normally have that home friendly against European opposition? Roma would be I think that'd be a cracking game. Yeah. That would be a cracking one. And then
go for it, Ned.
That's what I would do, but
right. We've got a new T-shirt coming out. Hopefully in the next 24 hours. Ned put it on the screen. It is our Last Dance T-shirt, and I think you can all admit that it's absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at it.
It's self-explanatory.
Just look at it. Just look at it. I mean, if you haven't got one of those T-shirts for next season when they come out, then
what's the point?
Are you really an Evertonian? You've got to ask yourself that question. Can you live with yourself if you don't have that T-shirt or a hoodie, or maybe at some point even a mug? You've got to ask yourself that question.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable. Some of your absolute favourites are on there, and it's just majestic. I'm sure there'll be multiple colours as well. So
it is tremendous.
It is just absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be there at Goodison, or maybe not at Goodison. Maybe you can't get to Goodison, and wearing that t-shirt makes you feel like you're just a little bit closer to Goodison Park. Don't forget, if you are a Toffee TV Premier member, you get a nice discount on those t-shirts as well. So it's a good idea to become a Toffee TV Premier member as well, so you can get your discount. But just look at it. Just look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. There you go.
There you go. There you go. That's a classic, says Celtic Vape. Ped looks up because our monitor is here to make sure the stream is all flowing the way it should do and what's looking like on screen. So I'm just asking my... it'd be great if the monitor was here and we could look at the camera, but it is.
It's because I'm looking at the moon. That's what it is.
Okay. FRM, the MND of Chris says, and this might be happening anyway, but you might have just jumped ahead of it, says, I would love a mug of this too.
A mug will become available.
So therefore, ergo, you will be able to get that mug. So well done. Delicious Side Effects says, I'm not crying, you are. Yeah, I mean, it is, when you actually stop and think, it is a little bit, you know, to just think, it is mad we're going into that final season. And every time we're there, it's one less to visit. It's a bit mad. I know we're excited and I can't wait to go to the new ground and all of that. Absolutely. And it will be the start of a new era for Everton. But when you actually think of it and go, it will be dead weird not being able to go that place again and watch Everton Football Club. It will be weird.
I'm very much emotionally dead inside.
No, you are. I know you are.
So,
nothing really seems to upset you in any way other than seeing a dog not getting a drink of water, which is massively weird. Not that shouldn't upset you, because it should, but all the other stuff that you have no thing for
no interest.
is absolutely
no interest.
Mad. In some respect, Dom, Ned does carry this show. I don't know where he carries it to, normally to the bin or to us losing subscribers, so you're absolutely right there. Mark Jones says, lads, are we getting white seating spelling our name and motto at Bramley Moordock?
But your name?
I know, why? What's Mark Jones written in the South Standard? Hey, listen.
It's controversial.
It's controversial, but it could work. It could work. Keithy thinks we should sign Sue Gawara from Alkmaar. Well, we had a look at him, didn't we? But I don't know how much they want for him and all of that stuff. Kabore, of course, who was at Luton, Man City. Kid was linked. So who knows?
Going back to the original question just before, I think at some point there will be some kind of white writing on the seats.
Will they? Yeah.
I think so. Especially if it's sponsored.
Okay.
But I think just for now, they've just put blue in because it'll be easy to swap the white seats out, won't it? Because they're like clipping. They're dead easy to swap out. You just have to know the map of where you would put the white seats. But I think it's just a case of getting it done, isn't it? Getting everything done, and then we've got plenty of time if we want to put white seats in there for any reason.
We've got plenty of time to change some of the seats we've got in there on the south stand in the rail seating bit and get even more people in, which is what we should be doing. 52 888, nowhere near big enough. David, it should start up within 24 hours, did you say?
Hopefully, but he's
Hopefully, we'll confirm tomorrow when it's on. It'll be within the next 24 to 48 hours, we hope. Rob says, great t-shirt. Anita says, that t-shirt is superb. You know what I haven't done? Reinhardt, that'll never happen, I'm afraid, mate. One day we'll realise Ned's the real star of the show.
No, he's
Can
not.
you please stop getting your dad to message in things like that in a different name, Ned?
I don't think his dad would message that in.
In a different name, no. That might be his mum, to be fair. Might be Jill.
Ned's great, but obviously you clearly know by now that his biggest issue is he can't follow instructions.
I mean, that definitely is his biggest issue, amongst lots of others. Bainey says that t-shirt is literally a masterpiece.
It is literally a masterpiece, isn't it? It is. It is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Rob says, Ned, could Bella and Chris do a job at centre-back?
Ned, do us a favour.
Says Ned.
Just put your camera on. Put your camera on, please. Well, actually, I'm not even saying please put your camera on.
So busy.
You're not busy at all. You've stopped being busy. I give you the I allowed it to not be on while the business was happening. You're not busy now. Put it on. Sit back. Just sit back. There you go. No, what's weird, right? No one's going to give you grief. That's what's weird. That's what you need to start living with. Is the idea, get your smelly head out of my shirts. It's not the first time I've had to say that to you. There he is. He's there in all his technical glory. And no, the thing about it is, no one's going to, this is the mad thing, no one's going to give you any grief.
Tell him to buy 5 shirts.
And now TL said he'll buy 5 shirts. Well, he has to now.
Why?
Because he said he would if he never put his camera on.
Oh, okay.
But the mad thing is, no one's going to give you any grief now. It's never as bad in life as you think it's going to be. I mean, that's what your mum said.
Daniel says, hi guys, watching next to the pool in Cos, Greece. I've just been to Cos, lovely. It says, sorry if you covered this, but if we got Minter, would you move McNeil into the number 10 position? I think he should be tried there at times, I do, because he can strike the ball really well from those areas. You're going to say no, aren't you?
I'm just going to say...
Yankuba Minter, though, played on the right-hand side a lot last season. It's what he is. Jack Harrison deserves a go on the left, given...
I just think you've got players and you've got options and you can allow them... There's no... He has to move in there. Dwight McNeil's a very versatile player, which is unusual because he's only got one foot. But it's where you move him into... I think McNeil... His best position is still on the left, but the caveat to that is he needs an attacking left back. And we might get one now because Mikalenko, his leg fell off. That's nice. No, he would, because he comes inside, and again, it's that thing that people have been talking about with like Trent Alexander-Arnold playing for England. It's that thing of if he played central, does he create that space that he gets by moving off the left hand side? If you had a left back who got high up the pitch, who could get up and down at no problem, Dwight McNeil could move central all the time and no one would know who's picking him up, and that's the beauty of a player in that position.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Martin, just on the Godfrey thing, says great move all round. Yeah, fair enough. Derek says Minter refusing to move to France. He wants to move to Everton. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's what we're looking at, hopefully. Bill on Godfrey says, sell. Good lad, decent player, not good enough aerially to be the centre-back. Does have pace and physicality and has done well in other positions. But we need to sort our PSR out. We'd need a backup defender, as I hope, rather, that Keane and Holgate go to. Son of a goat boy and die will sign on Monday. Well, maybe he will, but the deal hasn't been done. It's not like the deal's all done at Everton are being clever. It hasn't been agreed. So that's why he's not signed. But listen, maybe they will hold it. Who knows? Who knows? Kev Rex says, what do you guys think of getting Connor Cody back as cover for centre-back?
No.
He'd be a great backup, but we'd have to buy him.
We'd have to buy him off Radio 5. He's never off it.
We'd have to buy him back, wouldn't we?
The lad has got his eye on the prize, and the prize is media. Fair play to him. Baz taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, he loves it now. Ryan says, hi guys, am I right thinking Duke's only got a year left? If is he another one, we should try and move on. Well, he's only just signed the extra contract extension to stay for this year. I don't know. He'll have maybe one more season at Everton and then he'll go. Steve Kelly says, all right lads, hope you both well. A week before the players are back and still only have three pre-season games. The quality of games worry me when I look at a lot of other clubs who they're playing. Also look at the Stoke game last year. It's like cup finals for some of these lower league teams. Well, he did put McNeil out for 4 weeks or so.
The talk is that Sean Dyche does not like going on long tours. Doesn't like traveling to America or whatever, because he sees it as every day they are not training. Basically, every day they travel is a day not training. That's the way he looks at it. So that's maybe maybe whilst we are in the situation, there's no monetary benefit to him, or we're not maybe getting the best facilities. So listen to that Moyes podcast the other day, and he said the one thing that he said to Bill Kenwright was, we go where I say we go. And he was very much one of the first people to go to America and use the best facilities they had. That was one of the stipulations. Or if he wanted to take the players to I remember when he took them to New York for a piss-up, or to Miami or whatever, that was a thing that he had. Maybe they're not getting the best facilities, so therefore they're not willing to go. Maybe he's thinking in Europe he can get better facilities at the moment, whatever it is. But every day they're travelling, they're not training. And maybe it's the same with the friendlies at the moment. Maybe it's like, well, we don't really need these. I think what happens now with a lot of pre-season work is, and you find this, is that the players are still very much getting fit in the first month of the season. Now I think it's become a big thing. I think for a long time we were like, you've got to be ready for the first game of the season. But I think now everyone looks at it as that the fitness levels are so high in the Premier League that pre-season games just aren't even enough anymore. You need to be playing Premier League games, and you're not going to get that level of fitness certainly till that
But you need to be playing a lot of games.
No, you do, but we know already that he doesn't mind playing games behind closed doors and things like that. And he is a very old school manager. You know that when you listen to him. He likes the old-fashionedness of football. He's very much, when he's talking about certain things with VAR and different things, it's like he sees them as distractions rather than to be things that should be looked at as, like, you know, with the tours and all that. He wants his players working hard on the training ground every single day. That's what he expects. And he has no problem with saying, well, why don't we just play a game behind closed doors instead of having a game at a stadium? And as you just said there, you go to Stoke and it's in front of their fans, and their fans are like, we haven't played the Premier League game for ages, so let's kick the fuck out of Everton players instead. And he might be like, why would we do that? I'd rather... I mean, the last season's first pre-season game, he wasn't even there. He was at Tranmere. And most of the first team were at Wigan. And he was like, that's his, seems to be his mentality, is that he doesn't need these pre-season games to be showpieces. And that, I think that's a lot of it, what it comes down to. So I think there might be, like, even though we've only seen 3, there might be like 3 or 4 behind closed door games that we haven't even been told about.
Yeah. Not a good look, in my opinion.
No, we all, you know.
Maxine Lecroc as a centre-back option. Yeah, Everton have looked at him before. It's never really happened. Tommy says, I would dock some of Ned's wages today, Baz. He's on his phone and he's eating. See, this, for everyone who always goes on about Ned, this is what you get. So he gets away with murder. He does some good work, but he gets away with murder as well. But listen, he's all right. He's over there. He's having his apple. He's having his thing.
He's not though. Tommy K is just being the audience. He's not having a timeout. You've timed out. No, that's disgusting.
Right, Tommy K.
Tommy K's been timed out, and that's a disgrace.
That's a joke. Keep going, Tommy. Put more, because I'll just take Ned off being
I'll put Ned in a timeout and a headlock.
No, keep doing it, Tommy. Carry on. Keep it going.
You haven't even brought your sound effect out.
I can't do it because I'm that disgusted with him. What he's just done.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
John says apparently Newcastle need to sell someone before the stupid deadline like us. So do you think there's a chance we'll get Minter on the cheap? I don't think we'll get him on the cheap, but we might get him. But I don't know whether we get him on the cheap, to be honest. And on Premier, last one, Bainey said, what was Keown on about with Michalenko last night, saying he plays with more aggression for the Ukraine?
Rooney had to put him right, didn't he?
Rooney put him right on it, didn't he? It just smacks of Martin Keown. A, not having a clue what he's on about, which is normal. Yeah. And B, that he didn't watch Everton. So he doesn't know what he's on about.
Watch Everton.
Michalenko was very good last season.
He was.
So he's just chatting shit. Yeah. Pardon my French.
And Ned and by the way, Ned very much. And also has the style of him and a slight look of Kim Jong-un the second, or whatever his name is. Very much North Korean dictatorship.
Ned is?
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't like something, he just...
Idi Amin. Yeah,
He is full Idi Amin. He's got
looks like Idi
such a
Amin
look of
as
Idi
well,
Amin.
to be fair. And this is the last one. Liam says, use the Onana money for Kefren Turan. What a sign he'd be. I don't think he'd come here, but he will be a tremendous midfield player for Everton. Don't know whether Sean Dyche would want him, but he will be a really good player. Right, we'll be on more the game in 5 minutes. Ned will put the link, if he can stop eating his apple. We'll be discussing the final 16 in the Euros. It was confirmed last night.
Carla, I am not the mystery headlocker.
No.
He's
gone. The mystery headlocker went.
Yeah. I'd have no problem telling you if I'd done the headlock. You know me.
So we'll see you in a few minutes. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.